staged, getting ready for a double out. So we got a train that's got the head in with the headlight on, and he's fixing to pull his head rail out of each portion 3. How do I know that? The north rail is 1, 2, then 3. He just turned on his ditch lights and he's fixing to pull. He's going to double over 3 to 5 and then pick up his rear EPU. So he'll run out 3 by 3 by 1. I only know that because I just built the train earlier. All right, so that's that. On your right, over here is the van yard. What they do is they focus on specifically 2 things. That's their function in this yard. Bailey Yard is made up of a conglomerate of yards. This van yard is, they focus on intermodal, as you can see, and bad odor rip repair in place, right? Bad odors, they'll put those over to the one spot, right? Those are heavy repairs. Directly to your right is main 1, 2, and 3. So the stackers are on main 1 going into the van yard. Main 2, then main 3 is closest to us. The typical convention in railroading is, at least on the Union Pacific Railroad, is main 1 is the north track, and then you go further south you go, and then 1, 2, and 3 thing. However you want to sequentially call that, right? Anybody got any questions at this point? That is eastbound, this is westbound, just for your orientation. Yes, sir?
So the wheel defect building, what do they do there?
The wheel defect detector building. All right. Well, we invested a lot of money, we charged our customers a lot of money to spray soap on wheels and x-ray them in order to, in theory, find a preventative way to find cracks or to prevent mainline derailments, prevent broken wheel derailments. It wasn't really that effective, and so we shut down the operation because it was costing more than it was, more to run it than we were making out of it, and or versus what we were finding, right? The whole intent was to prevent mainline derailments, and well, yeah, we could have done better with that. Fun fact, it's called the wheel defect detector house. Well, it's also called the crack house because it's trying to find cracks in wheels. Don't tell anybody I said that, by the way. All right, over on your right, you can see also the west hump crossing. You can see the main line, and you've got concrete ties on main 2 and 3, and you got wood ties on main 1. If you're ever curious when you see those belt trains, like Georgetown belt train, if you see those ever, you wonder how much rock is in those. That's an entire rock train, an entire belt train over there. We haven't really touched too much of that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No more than 5. Yeah. Yep. So yeah, if it's an M, that means multiple. If it's U, then it's uncoupled. That's the shorthand for it. So right here, what is that? To the left there, you've got the master retarder. So once you pull a pin and the gravity takes over, you're not making the car go any faster at that point, right? At that point, the cars are moving as fast as they will, and then gravity takes over. But we might need to slow them down based on the profile of the track, the weight of the cut of cars, whatever.
You're taking apart, and what happens? The mechanical forces will get on there and start working on the locomotive. They'll do whatever inspections need to happen. They will clean it up and refuel it. They'll top off the sand if it need be, and make room for the carbon. The carbon get on there. They inspect the air brakes, change whatever shoes they need to if any need changed. Before that train leaves, any train leaves North Platte, we have to have 100% of the air brakes, 100% operation. Exactly how long these trains are, and kind of one little look here. And also, you can see the east and west limits of Bailey Yard. So if you look off to your right, if you can see the white water tower out back there, that's pretty close to our yard limit right there. That's probably about the eastern limit of the yard. And if you look off here to your left, that bridge you see, Birdwood Crossing, that's pretty close to our western limit right there. That distance there is about 8 miles. And if you ever come in and work for Union Pacific as a trained person, you will walk every inch of this yard and stuff like that. So. Well, it's hard to say whether it's hard or not because it depends on the individual. We bring our engineers up for the trainment rings. So yeah, years gone by, we've hired engineers off the street, and we've hired them from other crafts, and it doesn't work out very well because there is a base of knowledge that you get working your way up to be a trained service up at the engineers. So we benefit better from doing it that way. Or some other thereabouts. So they go change the bolt, have about a 90-day plus turnaround time before you can use that locomotive again. And so that was getting to be such a huge problem that at that time it was General Electric that I'm sure they had some negotiations and some, few dinners over what to do about this. And they came up with the idea of building this building here for General Electric. And it was ran by General Electric company, and it had General Electric employees in it, and they did the warranty work here. So our locomotives would get put in service, they could come here, they'd be serviced on property, and cut 90 days down to just maybe a couple hours at times. So it made it a lot more proficient. Over the years, this has been turned over to several companies, and I think it's Platte now. Oh, it's ours now. So yeah, so we do it now. Yeah, it's ours. They're gonna have to be because it's ours. So if you look off to your left here, there's another little erector set looking thing, and you can see this one's a little bit different. It's not designed the same as the east run through. In this run through, the concept is still the same, which is to expedite the movement of unit trains. So what has to happen here, out to the front of us, there's a coal, what we call the coal yard, but it's not just coal that comes from there. You have intermodal trains, grain trains, whatever they want. You come and leave crews in there. We'll put either locomotives on either side of it, or we'll add it to a train that's departing, and they'll take them out. We'll change them out on line that way. So one way or another, we'll get our crews relieved. Over here, off to the right, you see these stacks, double stacks, single stacks. This intermodal, this is what we call a blend yard. They do a lot of intermodal switching here, and there's also a handful of coal cars. You might notice that the train,
They'll duck right underneath the drawbars and just walk right through a train entirely.
Yeah, it's kind of neat. Once in a while, you see a small herd of deer run towards the train, and sometimes it's even moving, and they'll all jump right through the middle of it, between the cars. Look, each one of them. Once in a while, they'll misjudge, and then we have venison. It's constantly changing, constantly getting smaller. So the computer's taking into account, once again, a lot of mathematics involved here, but it's taking into account how much it weighs, how fast it's going, how much inertia it's generating going down. And our goal when that car gets in the rail is that it meets or it couples up to the next car on the rail between 2 and 4 miles per hour. That way, between 2 and 4 miles an hour, we're not damaging the customer's product, we're not damaging our cars, and everything works out just fine. Anything faster than that, and we start having problems. So to regulate that speed, those cars will come down the hump, they'll hit these big things. If you look off to your left over here, these are retarders. You heard the squealing sound over the west hump? This is what they look like. So basically, imagine a great big pair of disc brakes. They just squeeze on the wheels. That's all they do. Someone's conducting business up here. So, but anyhow, they'll slow that car down. We have 2 opportunities to slow these cars down. You got the master retarders up there, then you got these secondaries. And you'll see normally when they come off these secondaries, they're just barely low.
On the B side. That way, if there's one little glitch or a module's broken or some circuitry that's jacked up, we're able to keep moving by just flipping A to B and then doing the maintenance as needed. Get to see some maintenance of way guys. They maintenance of way. They wear orange and they do construction on our railroad. So there's really like 3 major crafts. You've got the transportation employees. You've got the car department. You got the locomotive. So those kind of fall under mechanical mechanical car, mechanical locomotive, and then you got engineering or maintenance of way. And under that, you have signal, you have track, you have bridge, all that. So over here is your diesel facility, your diesel shop, service track. Wait, here you go.
Okay, all right. My turn. Yeah, this is our diesel shop. We have 12 bays in there. At any given point in time, they have about 50 locomotives in this building. So you can probably imagine how loud this place can get at times. So, and we process approximately 50 locomotives or more per day. So they're telling me we go through about 9,000, over 9,000 a year is what we service there. They can come in here, just like that car shop. They can do major repairs. They can replace turbochargers. They can replace diesel engines. They can do body work, structural work if need be. Anything they need. So, yes, sir.
Fix engines from other railroads?
If they're willing to pay the bill for it, yes, we'll fix engines for other railroads.
They meet a regulatory requirement?
Yep. So you get some wear and tear on the wheels. So as long as we can stay with the tolerance, we'll go ahead and round out those wheels. And eventually they'll have to be reforged again and recycled. But we do now another interesting fact: that steel over there that's in there, the shavings, makes excellent domestic steel for those of you that are metal workers. No, that would be steel. So we don't do that. I just know that because I heard that someplace. 5-gallon bucket. No, when it's fully, it just gets taken down to scrap and one of the Aldrich plants, I'm sure. Now over here, our excellent bus driver is going to get us nice and close and personal with locomotives, and kind of give you a little comparison. I mean, but this bus isn't exactly small now, is it? But you still can't see the top of our locomotive. Matter of fact, you can barely see. The people on this side can see the windows and everything. You guys can't. Big piece of equipment right there. You're looking at, on average, they weigh about 416,000 pounds. So and each one averages approximately 4,000 horsepower. Give or take, some have more, some have less, but on an average, that's about where you're at right there.
Essentially all the same.
There's different sizes and there's different model numbers. The numbers on the side actually denote what model they are and things like that. I don't know the pattern for it, but there's a certain series of them will have different features on them. So, but they're all essentially laid out the same, but some of them have a lot more horsepower, some have less, some have different capabilities electronically, some have onboard computers, some have added on computers, things like that. So there's a lot. It's just like the car industry; they keep evolving all the time. So, like when we were running coal through here when coal was king, we were paying about $2 million per locomotive. Now the cost is about $4 million, but they have to have a lot more equipment out there too, a lot more specialization. And anybody who wants to buy a locomotive, we got plenty of storage here. Might have an auction one day. There you go. Yeah. For a fee. Also, when you pay for it,